Hey everybody, so you've tuned back into the bourbon market. I'm Doug Romer and here with my good friend Chuck McGowan. And so today we're going to do something that is, and people are, so I realized something real quick, Chuck. I need more Elijah Craig small
You do.
batch.
You're almost there.
Yeah, so I went to the cabinet and grabbed it and I was like, oh man. But so, you and I talked earlier today, and we both had the small batch, which this bourbon is a
It's
good quality bourbon
yeah.
for the price point.
Yep. Anytime.
And we both had the barrel proof.
Mm-hmm.
Both of us had Lot B barrel proofs, uh, and so we'll just talk about them, a little bit here, and then get in. We'll do a tasting. And obviously, they're going to be completely different bourbons.
Yep.
So so Elijah Craig with their small batch 2015, 2016, somewhere around there actually took, because it used to be a 12-year bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it is a blended small batch is, I think it's 200 barrels. And it's an 8 to 12 year.
Yep.
And with this barrel proof, you're getting a 12-year bourbon
Straight up. Yep.
straight up. Yeah. So
And it ought to have better tasting notes too, just because of the proof. I think yours and mine are both around 120. So
yeah, I think because mine's 121.
yeah.
It's batch 522, B522. And so, but now all of your small batch is going to be 94 proof.
Yep.
Which is, like I said, this is a good bourbon for a $30 bourbon.
Yeah.
So,
It's smooth for $30.
Extremely smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely smooth. Like I said, a good bourbon. But today, like I said, we're just going to kind of compare the two. And we know that they're not going to be anything alike. We know that you and I are going to enjoy this bourbon a whole lot more.
Yeah. Just because of the palate, it's over 100 proof. I think we're both going to like it better.
Yeah, and so just a little bit for our viewers, some people are new to bourbon. Some people, bourbon is something that's caught on in the last 10 years. I'm not going to say caught on in the last 10 years, but has become extremely, extremely popular and more mainstream in the last 10 years.
Yep.
And so the proof, this bourbon's not going to have the heat that, but it's also not going to have the complex flavors that you're looking for.
Small batch is going to be more toward the sweeter end. It's going to have some sweetness to it.
Yeah, and so if you're a bourbon drinker that is looking for that sweetness, that doesn't really like to bring a lot of heat and things, this is a great bourbon. Go out and pick this bourbon up. So, but with that being said, you want to just go ahead and get into it?
Yeah.
So we'll start with the small batch.
All right.
And we've both had this bourbon
many times.
Well, I mean, this is how my bottles of it usually stay. And the thing about this is so with 200 barrels and it being a mix of your 8 to 12 years, it's still consistent from bottle to bottle.
Yep.
It's you know what you're going to get with this bourbon, and you're going to get it every time.
Which says a lot considering how much they blend it.
Yeah, and they do a great job with it. So, as far as the palate goes, like you said, there's the sweetness there, but
you get some hint of vanilla. It ends with oak.
Yeah,
It's good.
it's got an oaky finish. Vanilla. It's not one that hangs around.
Mm-mm.
It's not going to hang around a long time. Um, as far as the finish goes, it's not a long finish. But then on the nose, it's. I mean, I think this bourbon's a little underwhelming on the nose.
Yeah, it doesn't.
There's not a whole lot there.
No.
So a lot of bourbons that are this sweet, you'll really get that sweetness on the nose. There's really not a whole lot on the nose in this bourbon, in my opinion.
No, I mean, it's still got a very good smooth flavor, good flavor to it, but it's not, there's nothing that just stands out and pops when you smell it.
No, and so we'll just go ahead and tell the people, like you and I have both drank our share of bourbon. But when it comes to when it comes, there are going to be people who smell a lot more than what we smell as far as nose and
Yeah.
on the palate. And that's the thing with bourbon is a lot of people are going to get different palates. They're going to get different flavors and pick up different stuff on the palate as well.
Yeah.
So, just because we're telling you that we taste something, that's what we taste. Taste it for yourself. See what you think.
Yeah.
So, we want to have another drink of it before we hit the barrel proof.
I usually won't turn one down.
No.
That's good.
It is. I mean, it's a good bourbon. Now, I mean, this is the one that I'm excited about tonight. So,
this one's one that if you can get your hands on it, it will not disappoint.
No, and this one is this one's a hard one to find right now.
Yeah.
A lot of stores are considering this is an allocated bottle. It's an extremely hard one to find. I got extremely lucky and have a friend over at a liquor store here locally. And when I walked in, he said, "Are you interested in an Elijah Craig barrel proof?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." He said, "Okay, I kept a bottle back for you." So was extremely happy to get this one because I haven't had a bottle of it for a while.
Yeah. And this one, I've had mine for 6 months. I got mine in December, and it's one I enjoy from time to time, but it's like I said, you can't find it. So I'm not going to just go through it until I can find another one.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so that's how, because I've got the Elijah Craig 18 year that you and I had over here at the house. And, it's nearing the end,
Yeah.
So it's like a sad day when that one is empty.
And once again,
but like you said, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's another one along with the barrel proof. The 18 year used to be something 10 years ago that you could. And my brother and I've talked about that when he used to live in Bardstown. And he used to be able to find shelves of it. You couldn't. I mean, people wouldn't even care if they bought it, and now you can't find it anywhere.
Exactly. So I went into a store 2 weeks ago, and I got extremely excited because there were 3 bottles of it sitting back behind the counter, and so the 18 years like 149, let's just call it $150 bottle.
Yeah.
And so I asked him about it, and it was $350. Yeah. So I obviously left the store without another 18 year.
Yeah.
So let's you want to nose the
barrel proof?
The barrel proof?
Way better.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like night and day.
It's like almost like, I don't know, wildflowers.
Yeah, so there's a floral. this one, and it's going to sound crazy because it doesn't have like your cinnamon, your nutmeg, anything like
No.
that. But you can almost smell heat.
Oh yeah,
So like and that's the thing with it. But it doesn't have the cinnamony smell, the nutmeg, and anything like that.
and the vanilla that kind of cools it back off.
Yeah, you've got the vanilla that comes through there as well. So you ready to try it?
Yeah, that's really good. When you can
Oh
feel it all
yeah.
the way back through your nose after the fact, it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that is just. I mean, that's a good drink of bourbon.
Mm.
That's a good sip there.
It's not
Um,
harsh, but it's got plenty of heat.
yeah, it's got plenty of heat. It has, and here's the thing: is like it starts out from start to like I'm still tasting different
Yeah,
different notes,
yeah,
and like it's all the way through the drink. It is it you get different flavors and different, but like you said, it's got heat, like a good heat that that you're drinking something really, it's there, but it's not one of those where like your eyes are watering and you're trying to choke it down and
yeah,
it's burning all the way down.
yeah.
And so that's what but yeah, and extremely good.
It's really good.
Yeah. That's what So like the initial flavor I get is kind of a vanilla,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got a vanilla right on, like, I mean, it's almost as soon as it hits the tongue. But then, like you said, you've got that heat, but then it cools off. I'm not going to say it cools off to where you don't still feel it across the full drink,
Yeah.
but it kind of cools it off a little bit. Incredible bourbon.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
mean,
awesome.
like, and so that's what you know. I really, because we've got a buddy that I would love to see you. You've never seen him drink a barrel proof, and a friend of ours, and so this bourbon isn't for your people who are new to bourbon.
No,
Um, they're not going to enjoy this bourbon. I don't think so. Anyway,
no.
what are your thoughts on
Now
that?
the
I
small
mean,
batch would be something for a beginner that I think they'd be fine with. Um, just because it's around 90 proof. It should be it's sweet. It should be. It's got some heat, but not enough to just not like the barrel proof at all. So it's anything around that level that's mid. This is I don't know where you'd put this, Doug, but I would put it mid tier to upper. Just
the
Elijah Craig is upper mid tiers.
yeah, Elijah Craig to me is a good quality bourbon that is better than a lot of your mid tier bourbons.
Yeah,
Even this right here.
yeah.
Now this is on a completely
That's
different level.
that's out of the that's out of the park. That's
Yeah,
good.
this bourbon is a completely different level, and this bourbon is going to cost you, I think,
Between
eight.
78 to 82, somewhere around there.
Yeah, like should cost you that
Yeah,
somewhere around in there. And if you see it, get it. Like, and here's the thing: is if you're a new bourbon drinker and you're building a collection or anything like that, pick this up, because even though we're telling you you're probably not going to enjoy it right now, if you continue to drink bourbon and build your palate, you're going to love this eventually.
yes, yeah. That's
And it's a good one to have in your collection.
about a year, depending on how often you try things. It's different for everybody, but about a year in, you should be good with most things that are in the 100 proof range. Um, you know, this one still is well above that. I've got plenty of bottles that are around 120, and I wouldn't, even after a year, for most people, they still don't want those. They'll stay
No, no,
around,
no. They're still not going to appreciate that sip. I mean, they're not going to appreciate that bourbon. Um,
but
for most people,
yeah,
you know. But like I said, if you've got the opportunity to pick it up, then by all means pick it up,
it's a great
and add
bourbon.
it to your collection. It's an incredible bourbon. And like I said, if here's the thing is, even if you're not new to bourbons and you just want something that's under 100 proof, that's a really good drink, that's a really good price, this right here is a really, like you said, you and I just said that it's what we would consider above really a mid-tier,
Mm-hmm.
a middle of the road bourbon.
Or if you're trying to have people over at your house, like some people do from time to time, have an event for a tasting, Elijah Craig small batch for the price points that is something you can buy multiple bottles of. Most people will have more than one bottle on the shelf, or you can ask them if they only have two or three. They'll usually have more in the back,
Yeah.
to where everybody can taste it. If you have a bunch of people coming over, it's that kind of, so there's plenty of it. Plus it's a good price point.
What kind of parties are you having, man?
No,
Like I have you, I
yeah,
have you over to taste bourbon.
yeah,
we still need two bottles, but
yeah.
but no, but yeah. So like I said, both of them incredible bourbons. I mean, we're not going to rank them. Everybody knows exactly where we're putting these. But like I said, we just wanted to do the video we needed an excuse. I needed an excuse to crack this one open.
Yeah,
But go out, get them. Either one of them, you're not going to be disappointed in. This one, eventually, if you're new to the game, if you've been drinking bourbon for a while and you've never tried this, try it. If you can find it, try it.
agreed.
So, yeah,
Even if
that's what.
even if you can only find it at a bar, try it. It's good.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
Like if you can find this at a bar and get you I mean, go ahead and don't do the half pour. Just
Yeah.
go ahead and get your full pour, and have it with incredible bourbon. So, like I said, Elijah Craig, good quality product, great bourbons, really across the board. Um, we highly recommend them. We've talked about this multiple times, Chuck, and we'll probably get into that 18 year where you and I have an 18-year pour again,
Yeah.
and we'll finish off that bottle, um, and we can talk about that on here as well. But we appreciate you tuning in, watching us. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications. We're going to have in our shorts, there will be all kinds of bourbon recipes that you'll want to try. And in our videos, we're going to do a lot of stuff with bourbons, a lot of different stuff. So hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications. I'm Doug Romer.
I'm Chuck McGowan.
And we appreciate you tuning in to the Bourbon Market. Thank you.